Once he was just an ordinary boy. Now he is defender of the universe. Look, there he goes now, off to save the universe yet again.
As well as your careers. Faster than a speeding resume. A hero to the man on the street. And getting you back on your feet. He is Captain Careers, Adrian Choo. How's that for size, man?
Oh, I love that. That's the best intro I've had. Look at my guns. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Chris Hansen conversation for the I Love My Job series. And he's going to be a regular guest each season for this particular segment simply because he is the authority on the subject. I can dare say he's the authority on the subject. And we like him here because sometimes, on my show at least, he can be a little bit more unhinged. I have with me back again for season 4, the CEO, founder, and career strategist for Career Agility International, Adrian Choo, Captain Careers. How you doing, Bones?
I'm doing fantastically well. This is a no-holds-barred session, so I'm ready to get cancelled.
Really? I looked at the questions that this show today, I got to tell all of you, this episode, is not planned by me. It is completely planned by Adrian Choo, okay? So don't fucking cancel me. You want to cancel anyone, cancel this joker.
Disclaimer, there's none. So
there's no disclaimer.
No disclaimer.
Okay, everyone. And Adrian, I need you to know this. I've given you a moniker as you heard the intro just now. You are now called Captain Careers on this show.
And now all I need is a catchy tagline.
Yeah, I just call you Bones. I will call you Bones because you are the Body Snatcher, man. I'll never fucking forget that story. It's still ringing in my ears. Again, still permeating in my brain that this man used to sell fucking bones.
So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, tune in to our previous season. You've got a lowdown on me having 30 skeletons in my closet.
Yeah, the Body Snatcher, you. Okay, all right, man. So you got a couple of things planned for us. We've had the season. Yours is usually going to be the final episode for the series I Love My Job. I got a couple of people already who came in to speak, right? And now it will always culminate each season with the final episode for this series with you. With Captain Careers.
I'm so touched.
Not at all, man, because you are the expert on the subject, man. Not me, man. I'm just a guy a guy. I'm usually the guy. The guy that will get everyone in, and everyone else is the expert. Everyone else is people I'm honoring, unless we're talking about fucking UFOs, and maybe I can say I'm a little bit more of an authority. But other than that, man, other than stupid shit like that, I'm quite dumb.
You're the guy.
No, I'm the guy, but the dumb one, So I leave it to the experts like you. And I've got a few things. I've prepared it for you, though. You've given me the questions, and it's going to pop up on the screen. Mm-hmm. Okay? Of course, it has to make it a little bit more fun. Yeah.
I know, right?
Let people see what exactly we're dealing with. So I put this in the order you've given me. Okay. So do you want me to just flash it in the order? Is that good for you?
Okay, good. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, fuck it, man. Let's go. There you go. The problem with being Singaporean. Oh, fuck. We're going to get screwed for this shit.
I think so. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How proud of you that you're Singaporean?
Singaporean per se as a citizen, I'm very proud.
Citizen, yes.
As a citizen, I'm very proud, of course.
Me too. Whenever I'm overseas, or when I'm in the US or in Europe, first thing I tell people is I'm Singaporean because I just don't want them to mistake me for anything of any other nationality.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I love being Singaporean. I'm a true blue Singaporean.
Wait. What if anyone says to Adrian Choo, are you actually I should value my passport. Are you Malaysian?
Oh, I love Malaysians.
Okay.
I actually prefer.
But what happens if
I prefer to hang out with Malaysians more than Singaporeans.
No. Based on what you just said just now, if you were mistaken to be Malaysian, how would you feel?
I think it's fine. I just say we are the better looking version. So
fuck.
But anyway,
I hope you don't go to JB too often.
Lots of I've got relatives in Malaysia. So the thing is, when I'm outdoor,
there's a lot of kinship between us and Malaysians.
There is. You can't tell one from the other except when you ask them whether it is roti canai or roti prata. That's where the difference comes in.
So that's Ours is called Singlish. Theirs is called Manglish, right?
I no idea. No,
yeah,
Manglish
it's
is something about-
Manglish.
So my pet peeve is when Singaporeans ask me whether I'm Singaporean. Or they will, are you Singaporean? I say, of course I'm Singaporean, but you speak different. I'm Peranakan, so I speak different, just like you. You know, you're Eurasian, so we are of the special heritage. So
Of course, you're very extraordinary people.
But but when it comes to work, I must say, Singapore problem. That's a good word.
problem.
Yes, that is a Freudian slip. Being Singaporean sometimes poses certain problems. Okay, and these are uniquely Singa problems. Okay. Let me tell you, because for me, I've been in headhunting many years. Right?
Yeah.
Conversation goes like this: I call up an individual, say, "Hey, Joanne, there's a great opportunity for you. This company, is really, it's more money to pay. It's a much better job. The company is more prestigious than your current one." First question asked is, "Where's the office, huh?" "Oh, it's in Jurong."
Oh gosh.
"Too far, the one."
Mm-hmm.
Say, "No, but this role is quite exciting for you." "No, too far away, the one." "Oh, where are you staying?" "I'm staying in Bukit Merah, or even Bukit Panjang, which is not too far from Jurong."
Yeah, it isn't, yeah.
"No, the one too far away. Thank you for calling." There's one case study.
Right.
Another one. "Jonathan, there's a role for you. There's a company. Where's the office?" "The office is in town." Which part of town?" "Shenton Way."
Mm-hmm.
"Which part of Shenton Way?" "Oh, it's in it's in one of the buildings." "I don't want." "Why?" "No shuttle walkway from the MRT station."
Oh, for fuck's
So I'm
sake. You're not
still
kidding, right?
I'm not kidding you, okay? So we are a bit spoiled. So, if you ask me what's the problem with being Singaporean, I'm not talking about being, not the problem with Singaporeans, but the problem with being Singaporean. Sometimes we're too pampered. We're too spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's hurting us as a resource, in terms of own career.
Mm-hmm.
Example, how many Singaporeans do you know would accept an overseas posting, to London? Surely.
Wow,
Right?
expatriate job.
Expatriate job.
Yeah.
Okay. To Australia, Melbourne, Sydney.
Yeah.
To KL.
You mean, don't tell me that not many people prefer to do that either?
Yeah.
What?
How about this? Even to Bangkok. Or there are reservations.
Okay, but if you're single, young and single, it's a fucking opportunity, man, to be an expatriate.
Yeah.
But people still don't. You're talking about the young here. Are you talking about the young or the
younger ones?
across the board?
The younger ones and the millennials. Sometimes, you have a family, but even then, that's why I think we have not learned how to come out of our comfort zones yet.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Okay.
And it's actually a result of being very blessed.
But the thing is, Adrian, that what have you encountered the Singaporeans who have really jumped at this sort of opportunities? Have you?
I have.
And these people, I don't know whether you keep up with them since they landed those respective jobs. Yeah, whether it's going to be, I don't mind traveling. I don't mind getting caught in the rain. I don't mind traveling overseas. Those sort. Yeah, those people. To me, in my opinion, these people have great aptitude, great attitude. Right? They have a verve for life, and they're going to go out there and grab opportunity as it comes. Yeah. These people that you know of, if you caught up with them, I hope you have they done really well in their own lives, in their own careers?
They have, because they go overseas, they get some exposure, they go to another country to get exposure, and they come back very experienced.
Yeah.
You see, the question is this, how many of our Singaporeans are truly global? And this is a very sensitive question, okay?
Why is it sensitive?
Because then people say, "Oh, but Adrian, you're saying the Singaporeans don't have talent, No, we have talent. Okay.
Yeah.
How many Singaporeans can do what DBS CEO Piyush Gupta is doing? He's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job. Okay.
Okay.
How about our TikTok CEO? What's his name? Choo.
I don't. I forget. I wish he got a Christian name or something.
I know,
so,
right?
Yeah, so it's easier to remember.
You know that good-looking, smart dude, right?
Yeah.
How many people are of that caliber? Okay. If you look at his career profile, wow, he's been with the consulting groups, private equity firms. Fantastic. How many Singaporeans are there? And the question is, why aren't more Singaporeans in those global, very senior leadership roles?
Right.
Okay. Even the government,
right,
okay, when they're looking for CEO of MRT or whatever it is, okay, they do a global search. In the end, it falls back onto some army dude.
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
because not that Singapore does not have talented people.
Yeah.
I think that because we don't have the critical mass. Okay, let me explain why.
Okay.
We only have 2 million Singaporeans.
Right.
Okay, aren't you going to correct me?
We have 2 point something million.
No, 2 million Singaporeans per se.
Really?
I tell you why. Okay, what's Singapore's population?
5.8 now, I think.
How many non-locals make that up? Maybe about
Half, yeah.
Half-ish, yeah.
That's why I said it's about 2.5,
Correct.
2.6
How many
million
Singaporeans
right?
are, and I'm talking about non naturalized. How do you say that? Singaporeans.
Singapore, indigenous Singaporeans
Indigenous
born here, yeah.
You know, we don't have that critical mass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Imagine if just 0.01% of the people are of that super caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have about 200 of these guys.
Okay, wait. I
I
got to
mean-
stop you there because you know why? Call me a fucking idealist, but since you're saying that, I can see your point of view. We don't have the critical mass, so therefore, the indigenous Singaporean, you can hardly see one that can shine. Is that what you're saying?
No, and it's not just the person who shine. These people have to be put under very specific circumstances to reach that goal.
Sure.
As opposed to there are 1.2 billion Chinese. You
Yep.
know? So even a 0.01%, 1.2, there's still like a
Yeah.
1 million.
Yeah. I know
That's
where you're
what
going.
talented
I know
people,
where you're going.
And
with
of
this.
that group,
Yeah.
you go in and you give them the training,
Yeah.
and some will fall by the wayside.
No, Adrian, I disagree with you. I think it's got to do with attitude, and it's got to do with a
attitude is-
pampered and entitled generation.
and
It's not.
attitude is also one subset. But if you have a wide enough
Mm.
group,
No, let me give you an analogy.
tell me.
Let me give you an analogy. Look, man, how would the SAF plan to defend this country when they first started and as the years progressed? Okay. Because we are so small, we don't have the critical mass in terms of population, right? So, okay, we came up with a brilliant plan. We go into conscription. We have a conscripted army. We work in technology. And then, of course, I'm not wanting to say too much because I don't want to really let go too many things. Being a former soldier myself,
Yes.
alongside with you, because we're all conscripts.
yes.
The idea is that every one of us must go in with an attitude.
Yeah.
Right? If you take a look at a section size of soldiers, a section is quite a small section compared to most other armies in the world, right? Armed forces in the world. The infantry section is quite small, but superpowered in
Of
terms
course.
of our armaments and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So that's an open secret, and no one hides that kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
that's
I
right.
can talk
That's right.
about it,
That's
right? No. If we look at that attitude there, we may be small, but we all can, with the right attitude,
Mhm.
get great at the things we want to do. It's about an attitude. It's
I
about
agree.
streamlining things and going, okay, you know what? Each of us have really got to be something else, man. We got to be really special.
Yeah.
Right? There's always going to be one other guy that's going to be better than you, but that's cool.
Yeah.
The point is that we all get very, very good at the things we have chosen to do.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
We can get good with training.
Yeah.
We can get good with the right equipment that can level us up and
It's
give
an
us a
attitude,
multiplier
man. No,
effect.
sorry. You can train someone, man. You see, I give you another analogy. Okay, I don't know whether or not
Go for it.
I'm being fucking relevant here. Musicians, like Aaliyah and I, on our episode, we talked about this a little bit. Let me just touch on that.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of muso. Okay. One would be the technical guy, the guy that mommy and daddy sent me for fucking piano lessons since I was 5 years old. By the time I was 12, I'm grade 8. I can sight read.
Yeah.
I know how to really play.
Those are manufactured.
Yeah,
talent.
manufactured talent, the technical guys. Then you got the musical ones.
Yeah.
Where yes, they are also technical. They can read the notes. They can sight read. They can do all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But they have the feel in what they play.
Yeah.
Right? There's a musical guy.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather have a musical guy because you have soul in it.
Mhm.
Right? It's the attitude.
Agreed.
It's the attitude. It's
Agreed.
not just about being manufactured. So anyone can go for training.
Yeah.
You can go and sign up for whatever fucking courses you've got, right? And then come out and say, yeah, I'm certified. Yeah, but bollocks. The point is that how much did you put into that training whilst you were undergoing training?
Yeah.
So it's about the attitude, don't you think?
And I think attitude also, you cannot deny the talent. Because you've got no talent, you got attitude. We've seen a lot of people on America's Got Talent. No, they sing horribly, but I've been practicing this for the past 15 years. You got no talent. So I'm talking about talent here, not just attitude.
Okay. Now, since you're on talent, then I will have this to say. Talent without hard work is being fucking stupid.
Agreed. So all else being, but I'm talking about
so it's still the attitude, right? If you have talent, you still need to put in an attitude, a good attitude.
Exactly.
In order to hone the talent.
Exactly. So if you got 100 people with a good talent, right? High talent, half of them don't have the attitude. Okay? They just fall off the table, right?
Yeah.
And then the other half are not given an opportunity.
Okay. Now we're talking about opportunity.
Maybe they're born poor. Okay, maybe they're born poor. They can't. You see, how many musicians, successful musicians, nepo babies.
What babies?
Nepo babies. No, nepo babies, huh?
What the fuck are nepo babies?
Nepo babies are nepotism babies.
Oh, say that.
Parents, they're called nepo babies. Okay, these nepo babies, okay, they're all born. You can go and look up a lot of people. They're all very talented. Like shucks. I'll give you an example. Wilson Phillips, China Phillips.
China Phillips, yeah.
You go check out who dad is. Her dad
is a Beach Boy. He's a Beach Boy.
Yeah. And the mamas and the papas.
Mamas and the papas, yeah.
Correct. So, nepo baby. You look at what's Ben Affleck, okay?
What about Ben Affleck?
His dad is an actor.
Is he?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Ben Stiller, sorry.
Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller, yes, his dad, yeah.
Nepo baby. So okay. So if you look at talent pool, okay, half of it drops off because they don't have the attitude. The other half because they didn't have the opportunity.
Right.
In the end, you end up with 50. But imagine out of the 1,000, imagine if you had a much bigger talent pool, that 50 grows up by 100, 200. So the question is, why aren't Singaporeans leading global companies? And I think the problem with being Singaporean is that there's just not enough of us. It's not that we lack talent.
I think it's not enough exposure.
And that follows on with what I say. They don't put up their hand, okay, because they're pampered. They don't put up their hands, they're gonna go like, I want this job, I want that job.
They see, okay, I hear you and everything you said about this, and I take the whole fucking thing and I put it into a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what I see.
Okay.
I see, yes, pampered, entitled. I want this, I want that. And yet everyone is sheep. If any single person in that bowl wants to stand out, he cannot be sheep.
Exactly.
But if he doesn't want to be sheep and he stands out, is he going to be thumbed down?
That's a good question.
So truly, is it because of not having critical mass, or is it because of not being allowed an opportunity?
And sometimes it's not just that not being allowed opportunity. A lot of times it comes from the school education system as well. You ask the teacher questions. Shut up, this is a stupid question. Sit down, troublemaker. We had that in school. We were always the
okay, to be fair, that's our day. Yeah. Our day. Today, I don't know.
Today it's also today it's even worse. I'll tell you why.
Okay. I know where you're gonna go with this. Mathematics.
Not just mathematics.
Workings.
Don't get me started on that. Okay, another simple example. Tuition. Private tuition.
Oh, why?
Okay. I remember when I was in junior college, I was in university, I was supplementing my income
with bones.
With tuition. Okay, with bones, I was also giving tuition at the side, right? Okay. So I was giving tuition to this neighborhood kid just because after 3 months of just 2 months of coaching him, he came back to me and his neighborhood school kid.
Right.
He said, Uncle Adrian, my teacher asked me to tell you something. I say, what? He asked me to tell you you're not doing your job because my maths grade's no good. I say, what? Seriously, the teacher is telling the student that the tuition teacher is not doing my job. I'm not doing my job because so everyone is relying on tuition so much that some of the teachers just hands off.
Yeah.
You see, so a lot of times the education system needs to be revamped.
I gotta say this, and I gotta stop you there, man.
Yeah.
You know why? Because that was during your university days, right? Now, I think today could be, I don't know, because you mentioned neighborhood school per se. I don't know why you said neighborhood school.
Neighborhood school.
But and then of course we know who said before, every school is a good school. Well, to me, okay, if you come from Chi Chong Fan Secondary School, and then I don't know, I can't speak for these guys, but the mission school that my boy is in, I gotta say, and I hope this is actually across the board today where MOE is concerned. I think that's what they're striving to do. Since we're on this topic, okay. I don't think we're deviating because education is part and parcel of the job marketplace.
Yeah, correct.
And the school principal, bless him, really. I mean, I think this guy's amazing. And he when my boy went into secondary 1, and this is my old alma mater.
Okay.
Yes. And he said, if you need to employ tutors, private tutors for your kid, the school has failed. Okay? Now, that help, and I know they're striving. They really are trying. Yeah, and it's not just about. And the school doesn't also emphasize just on academics. They emphasize on truly holistic growth, character, which is more important than values. The imbuing values, right? Which is fantastic. Mission schools are like that anyway. Whether or not it's MOE sanctioned.
Agreed. I'm a product of the mission school system as well.
Which school again?
St. Andrews.
Oh, yeah. Those bunch of guys running after a bloody ball sack. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get beaten up by St. Andrews.
I think so. Okay, anyway.
Okay, it's a great school. I got a lot of friends at St. Andrews. Okay, anyway. So only recently, man, like about 3 weeks ago, my son approached us and said that I need some help. Yeah. And we didn't force it down his throat. Yeah. The trouble is a lot of parents force these down the kids' throats. You know, you're going to have, I'll give you tuition, you're going to listen. And it's forcing it down their throats. You know, like trying to, you know, to stuff food down a goose to get foie gras. You know what I'm saying? I
agree.
But my boy approached us, and when he does, we have to take it seriously because he's asking for help.
And I think that's positive.
That's okay.
Rather than him
I don't think the school has failed. I think it's just a question of the kid really needs some help.
And also the parents also, like what you said, forcing food down.
Yeah.
I tell you what's the dumbest thing, okay? I see, and I don't mind being quoted on this, I see parents of primary 3 kids paying top dollar for a particular agency to teach their kids how to get into gifted stream.
Why do that?
If you're gifted, full stop. Yeah. Why you want to try and game the system to get in? And I can tell you from personal experience, being in the gifted stream, I'm not a gifted stream, my son went through it. Nothing special.
See, on this series, I Love My Job, I had just had Benjamin Lowe not long ago. And he himself, I asked him, what does it take? I mean, what would someone actually, need to have to be a public speaking trainer, speaker, coach like you? He was from the local universities. You know, he was bullied when he was younger, and then he's an introvert, and he's teaching public speaking, and he's doing very, very well globally. He's doing great. And he said, I don't know, I can't tell you because why? Depends on whether you have the aptitude for it, whether you like it, whether you want to do it, you know? Yeah. And it's about that, isn't it? See, at the end of it all, it's not about what the parents want. Yeah. And then young people today are living their lives based on the expectations of their folks. Yeah. And I'm afraid to say that the next 20 years are going to have the same bunch of people at that time that's going to be just the same as the ones we got now. Because sadly, those kids that you've met and helped and you've encountered are now parents. Yeah. And they are doing the same shit that was done to them to their own kids. So we're going to see this vicious cycle going on, man.
It's true. And that's why I think that there's nothing you can do about the education system because it is what it is. That's why as parents, we got to train our kids differently from everyone else to give them that edge. Right? Like both my kids, my oldest, my boy is going to uni already, and my daughter is doing O levels. I've been training them up to be career ready since they were young. You know, I've always wanted to make them have a certain degree of street smarts. See, and how do you train a kid? How do you train a kid to be career ready, to be street smart from young? I always try to trick them. Okay. So, like, for instance, my daughter, I want him to catch my BS. Okay. So I BS them a lot. Okay. So, like, my daughter, when she was 4 years old, she asked me, Daddy, how do we get strawberry milk? I said, you see, take a cow in Australia, we feed the farmer will feed them with strawberries, and then the milk comes out strawberry flavored. And she's like, hey, Dad, that's rubbish. So I was good. Yeah, that's what I do. So I've always trained them to be street smart.
It's called plying them with dad jokes.
Yeah, I know, right? And let them catch it. Okay? Let them catch things like this. And to the point where I talk to them about cases at work.
Right.
All names are disguised and everything, but I said, I got this situation. My boss is making things tough for me. But I'm doing this. So I walk them through the adult journey so they understand what it is. So, and I think that's where we cannot sit down. And that's the other problem with being Singaporean is that sometimes we have this learned helplessness, like, oh no, the government is not doing anything for me. The government is allowing a lot of foreigners to come in, things like this. Yeah, so what? What can you do about it, right? This is what you do about it. So you can complain that the school system is not that great. What can you do about it? So what I do is I train them on this. I even tell them to have a certain healthy disrespect for authority. Okay, like not everything.
Healthy disrespect for authority.
Not everything the teacher says is correct.
Yeah, challenge it.
Challenge it.
But the trouble is that you see, remember what I think, was it you that I said this to? These days, whether it's in the digital sphere or whether or not it's personal, one-to-one in social, under social circumstances or in a business meeting even, right?
Yeah.
I've encountered this myself before. I was told to shut the fuck up. Don't say a word. Yeah, really, man.
I'm sure you get it a lot. So.
No. I got this once and I really went against it.
Oh, shit.
And the guy was kicking me under the table. And I said, why are you kicking me under the table? You still trying to tell me to shut the fuck up and not engage with these people? I said, I'm sorry, you can do that if you're chicken shit because I'm not chicken shit. Yeah. And this thing about, this is what I feel today. If today, any one of us, for that matter, were to ask a question at a forum, for example, in a forum or in a town hall meeting, or I don't know, any circumstance, you just stand up and you challenge with a question, not because you're being recalcitrant, but because it's a good question. And good questions are usually very hard to garner an answer. A real direct answer. An answer that you're really looking for. But they'll give you some cockamamie bullshit, and then, to skirt the fucking issue. And then the famous line that people say these days, we'll take that offline with you and never do. And then you're then deemed, maybe indirectly, quietly, unofficially marked as being either a troublemaker, a recalcitrant, you're insolent, you're subversive, I think that's really wrong. And as long as that kind of culture exists in society and in the commercial world, we will never be able to generate leaders. And in school, when we're talking about maths, don't get me started. I'm going to fucking get you started. I always hated this shit. This is more prevalent in primary schools. Because I can say that because my kids just in secondary 3, primary 6 wasn't long ago. When you're given a mathematical problem to solve, you write down your workings. They want your workings. You get some points or marks for your workings, right? But if you derive the right answer through your own working, that shows your fucking genuity, right? And then they cross you out on the working and say, that's not my working. I didn't teach you to do it that way. What are we doing? Are we going back to the fucking dark ages or what? You know what I mean? I never agreed to that bollocks,
They do that in primary school. Secondary school, they're a bit more lax, but you're right. No, I agree with you. That's why, because they want to encourage uniformity in thought. That's why someone once said, some British guy once said, if Singapore had an Olympic sports for students, it would be synchronized thinking.
Good one.
So I think that's bad. Okay, that's bad.
So it's systemic, isn't it? I mean, I'm using the term loosely, systemic. Yeah. Because if we're looking at, as what you said, when we started the show, right? These are the people I encountered. The problem with being Singaporean, I think the problem actually is a bit deeper than just that. But that's why I'm still stuck on this thing. I still say that it's not about critical mass, man. This is culturally how we've become. And then what happens then? We start to rot a little bit. we start being more self-centered, we get more selfish, and of course, in that whole the whole descriptive of self-centeredness comes this thing called entitlement.
Yeah,
that's part and parcel of being selfish. I think it's kind of systemic.
Yeah,
as long as we're raised to be sheep, and we're not raised to question. Now, MOE actually recognizes, in my opinion, that recognizes this issue because now they're talking more about critical thinking. And it's true because back in our day, I don't know were you in the art stream?
No, I was in a triple science. I was a nerd.
You were a nerd, but fucking smart, not triple science. Shut the fuck up. Okay,
I didn't become a doctor, so not that smart.
Anyway, this guy with a diploma in BTC,
BTC as in
Botatzik. In my time, right, when I had to do history, right? I love history, by the way, literature and history. Being a normal stream student, right, which was I was deemed to be stupid, okay, and that's true. And when we learn history, it's rote learning, man. We have to memorize memorize. I can to this day I can still quote to you.
Yeah.
Okay, to this day, man, like this is fucking eons ago. But today, history is different. You don't need to memorize stuff, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a lot of critical thinking. It's what is it? They ask you questions and you got to tell them what you think about this particular point in history, and lessons learned from it, right? Inference questions.
Yeah.
So I think it's better.
It's better.
I think MOE somehow realizes that, hey, look, man, we need to have critical thinkers here. But
I was waiting for the big but. Yes.
With critical thinking, right, you got to accept you cannot make an omelette without breaking a fucking egg.
Yeah.
That you're going to have leaders coming out of these. Because people who are going to be critical thinkers will question.
And they're troublemakers by default, right?
So
are you going to label them?
So I don't know. I don't know.
The big challenge about teaching critical thinking is that I still remember during my time in university, they were in fact in junior college they were trying to use Edward de Bono's lateral thinking. As a critical thinking tool. And he does have some interesting models you can use to solve questions. And when you use another model, sorry, it's not in the critical thinking book, so you cannot.
Then why are you teaching lateral thinking if I cannot question this thing?
And if I cannot think laterally in another direction,
and then you're stopping me from going there because it's against the modality?
Correct. So that's why the oxymoron. And I think once again, it's a matter of the teachers may not be trained may not fully grasp critical thinking. But to your point now, and I want to complain problem being Singaporean.
Complain. Copy.
Yes, and I hope Ministry of Education is listening to this.
Hey,
he's hitting the censor button.
I almost choked on my saliva. Okay, never mind. Just say it.
What you said, history, fantastic. My daughter's doing history. Exactly what you're saying. Okay, thinking the why, the what, how did it happen? How does this event relate to that event?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Geography on your hand is absolute trash.
Okay.
The geography textbooks they're using now, absolute trash.
Why?
It's just pages and pages of facts to memorize. I'm not kidding you.
So it's still rote.
Extremely rote.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the textbook doesn't have any proper pictures in it. It's more like it's just walls and pages of text. So if any of our listeners out there, if you have your daughter doing the
sons.
O level or sons, okay, okay, any kids doing your O level, I'm sure just have a look at it and you see the textbook.
Right,
it's absolute trash.
But physics and science pretty good,
Oh, lovely, like bio and everything. I only want my grouse against the geography.
Okay.
I've written to the school and everything. It's when the teachers just say, we use that as a guide. We have our own notes, but that's the prescribed textbook. So it's tough. So
it's beyond their pay grade.
Yeah. So it goes back. So once again, I think it is what it is. No point complaining about what you can't change.
Now that we've talked about how the education system is like today and how it's changed. Yeah. And we can agree that I think we can, that MOE recognizes it and they're trying to make change.
They're trying.
So kudos to that. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm blowing sunshine up their behinds. I'm just saying that, I credit where credit is due.
Oh, yeah.
However, that being said, given the circumstance today, and given that we're talking about Singaporeans per se, 10, 15 years from now, when these school kids, your daughter, my son, goes out or already been out there working, how do you think our workforce would look like? At that point in time, when we ask the question, at that point in time, hypothetically, the problem with being Singaporean, what do you think is going to be like then? Should we ask that question again?
I really don't know, because right now I'm using this topic. I'm approaching this topic about the problem about being Singaporean from an old curmudgeon, two old guys, two Gen Z.
Hey, speak for yourself, man.
Two old grumpy guys like
Gen Xers.
Gen Xers, okay? Like the same way, in the Muppet Show. See, the very fact the Muppet Show shows our age already. The two old guys in the balcony, right? Complaining.
I don't think the young people today even know who the two old fuckers are.
What the Muppet Show? They're just complaining about it. So to a Gen Z listening in, it's like, these two old goats. So
they probably don't give a shit about what we say.
Yeah, correct. So I really don't know what.
Boomers,
yeah. But in 15 years' time, I'm sure individually they'll do well if they embrace technology, if they embrace the changes, and I think it is promising because Singapore is an environment where you can actually break out and be successful in whatever you want to do if you put in the effort, like what you said.
It's a hard work.
It's a hard work.
So
attitude.
Basically, hard work is still the formula, isn't it? Still the key to a lot of
Unlike
things.
some other countries, when you can do a lot of hard work, but if you're not of a particular race or you don't speak a particular language, right? Then it's tough. You see, so I'm not going to say any which country it is, but it's sometimes the cards are stacked, the deck is stacked against you in those countries. But Singapore is lovely, so I think we'll do well. Singaporeans will do well.
Do you mean that?
Yeah, we'll do well. Overall, we will do well. We will
Cross
survive.
your heart, man. Do you mean that?
Yeah, we will do well. Okay. Not everyone will do well.
Right.
But we can do well if we put in the effort. But it's a fast-changing environment, and we have to learn to stop being so spoiled. I'm very guilty of it. Okay, I'm very guilty of it. It's I take the public transport and I complain. I go to the food court now and I complain the serving so small. But it's a Singaporean pastime, and I love being Singaporeans. But
because we complain, you love being Singaporean because we complain. I'm getting quite fucking sick of the fact that we are complaining. To be honest with you, man, I mean, I'm sick and tired of the.
You're complaining right now.
I am okay, fine. Granted, I'm complaining about the complainers. I mean, think about this. When we complain, why do Singaporeans complain? The problem again about being Singaporean.
To them lucky.
Huh?
But to them lucky.
No.
No?
When we complain, it's because we want to be nannied. And then, when we want to be nannied, it means, why isn't the government doing something about this? Why isn't the government doing something about that? And then I always say, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, the government will likely, if they want to, they step in.
Yeah.
And then what would they do? If you want a government to take care of something, you have to regulate.
Yeah.
And when they have to regulate, you're going to lose certain amount of liberties. And let's be honest here. You have to comply. Every one of us have to comply, right? And then what happens? Then you start looking around you and you start seeing the four walls around you getting tighter and tighter and smaller and smaller.
And then you'll complain about it.
And then you complain about the fact that you can't breathe.
Yeah.
So, they don't have to take care of everything. We should be mature enough as a society to be able to handle our own shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of these things it's just this big word called tolerance. Tolerate. Live and let live. Enjoy each other for our differences.
Yeah.
And the way people go about doing the things, so this virtue signaling is because it's because you fan the fire, right? And then you fan the fire, there's a lot more smoke signals coming out. And then you say, oh, bad, these people, bad. Saying, what are you doing about this? Government, come on in. What are you doing about this? I mean, stop virtue signaling here, man. Sometimes it's about
But sometimes it's not virtue signaling. They just are in a negative space, which comes to our second question.
no, they're in a negative phase. They don't want to admit it, and
Yeah,
then they
they're in
find some
denial.
value in it.
Yeah.
They find some goodness in it.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking, what I'm not happy about, is the right thing to be unhappy about.
Yeah.
So
And
therefore,
then they
I
become
go
unhappy.
and
And
kalpe
the
kalbu
worst
about
thing is,
it.
These people, they congregate in the same spaces
Mhm.
and they become each other's echo chambers.
Exactly.
And then they're the ones
And then
going
all the
about
birds come
complaining.
together and
Yeah.
start chirping
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
And suddenly becomes who can chirp louder,
Yeah, correct.
right?
lor.
So to your point,
Yeah.
so and especially this why if we look at the second topic, I'm gonna jump into it.
Yeah. Which
Yes.
is, are foreigners stealing our jobs? Kai, there you go.
Yes. Which comes to an entitlement thing again.
Wow,
Okay,
this
so-
one tight topic, man.
That topic.
Tight, man.
Are foreigners stealing our jobs? The answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, what jobs? Waitering jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You the cleaning jobs,
Mm-hmm.
the clearing rubbish jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Are they stealing our jobs? The answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, because Singaporeans don't want to do those jobs.
Yeah.
So when you're complaining about, some people are complaining about foreigners stealing our jobs. Answer is yes, they are taking the jobs that we don't want. Okay, so let's settle that first. Are foreigners taking? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Then how about the good jobs?
Mm-hmm.
The good jobs.
Look, every job, even the lower paying ones, the menial ones, are good jobs. Let's not differentiate it that way.
Okay.
Let's talk about, when you say good jobs, let's find another definition for
Please
that.
do.
The positions, the executive positions.
That
you mean.
Singaporeans want.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then can we boil it down to the PMET positions?
Okay, the PMET positions.
Okay, fine.
Okay, yeah. The PMET positions, are they stealing our jobs? Okay. The answer is, once again, why mean our? Our suggests that we deserve it. It's our entitlement. It's our job, no? So case in point, I know this guy. He was in a company
Mm,
for 5 years.
mm.
They told him, you're going to be, I'm going to reward you. When the boss retires, I'm going to put you as country head.
Mm.
Boss retires, they parachute this guy from the US in,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
And as country head.
Mm.
And he says, see, foreigners stole my job.
Okay.
Number one, was it his job?
Well, it was a position that not necessarily could be
Yeah,
his
right,
lah.
correct. But
Yeah.
because someone told him, or maybe he assumed that it's going to be my job.
Right.
So yeah, number one. So number two, in a way, yeah, somebody took the job which he thought that he was meant for him. It was meant for him. So that's true. Okay, but it's a sense of entitlement. Once again, it's my job. When you got people coming in elsewhere, and it's a global phenomenon. It's a global mobility thing.
Okay.
Okay, so anyone can come in and steal anyone's job. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make here is this: saying that foreigners steal our job, okay, has a certain entitlement to it. What do you think?
Well, I think that this derogatory phrase that stemmed out the UK called bloody foreigners, because the UK you hear that quite for decades for people always people in England always go bloody foreigners.
Neil Humphrey
Yeah.
has a book on that. A detective story. Yeah, it's a really good book. So.
And it's a phenomenon that is across the globe, not just in Singapore.
Yeah.
I hear as well that the Australians are also quite unhappy with
Bloody foreigners.
with Asians coming in taking
Yes.
in the jobs, But then again, as we talked about earlier, the young executive given an opportunity to work as an expatriate overseas,
Yeah.
and you refuse to take it. The American guy in the example we just cited comes over, takes over your position
Yeah.
or your promotion.
Yeah.
Is the expatriate in the US that took the opportunity to become an expatriate.
Mm.
So that's one.
Mhm.
Okay. Two. Also on. Oh, okay. Let me just get my thoughts together. If you are good enough,
Yeah.
for the role,
Mhm.
really good enough, and yet still kind of raw, you can still grow better into that new role.
Mhm.
If he was first given an opportunity to get into it.
Mhm.
But there are companies, mostly MNCs, who won't let that happen.
Mhm.
They don't promote internally, they
Mhm.
bring in from either home office
Yeah.
elsewhere,
Yeah.
or someone else recommended by the home office and bring them over.
Agreed.
Yeah. And so well, if that's the case, then I say they're sad,
Yeah.
because
And it does happen.
yeah, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. So there's two sides of the coin here. One is you don't want to be an expatriate. Hello.
Yeah.
You could have taken over that guy's job there. Who knows, right?
Possible, right?
Yeah. But then again, there's also the other one that's a little bit more prevalent.
Yeah.
The very fact that companies today don't do a lot of internal promotions.
Yeah.
They will always have a new head coming in and the whole fucking thing changes.
So let me tell you a true story which got me so upset. I almost banged the table and walked out of this client's place. So I was in a previous company, and I was because my previous company helped individuals who got retrenched to land new jobs lah.
Mhm.
So I went to talk to an HR VP. Okay, this individual who was not Singaporean, but only in Singapore for 1 year. Only in Singapore for 1 year.
You're right.
The rest of the time, she was out in her home country.
Right.
Okay, and I was here to tell them about our program where we can refer candidates to you, good candidates who may have gotten retrenched, okay, who were really talented, because the downsizing is not always about performance.
Yeah.
The whole division goes, everyone goes. Good performance, bad performance, everyone goes, right?
Right.
So I told her, I said, look, we would like to refer candidates to you. Will you be okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
She looked me square in the face and said, oh, we don't like to hire retrenched people because they're no good.
Oh.
And I said,
So even that is stereotype.
yeah. And then I said, no, I want to correct you about that. So I corrected her about their perception. I said, no, they're not. A lot of good performers. And in my back of my mind, I was thinking, just wait for your turn to be retrenched. By the way, she was retrenched 2 years later, okay?
Karma's a bitch.
I wanted to call up and go, hi. but and then what she did, what she said next was shocking to me. She said, oh, by the way, even in the openings here, we don't hire. We will bring someone in from our other countries in to fill the backfill. And I was so upset with that. Okay, I was so upset with that and this was an individual who's only been in Singapore for a year. Okay, and she's already having the kind of mentality. And we bring people in from our other, and this is a multinational company, huge one. I was so upset with it that I said, okay, I think I've heard enough. I got up and I walked off with my sales executive, and my sales executive asked me, Adrian, do you think it was rude to walk out? I said, no, I was pissed off. Sorry, as a Singaporean, as a pro-Singaporean.
Yeah. Was this HR person? Was she Singaporean?
No, she's not. She's not. So to your point about companies hiring people. So anyway, so 2 points came out of that. I actually, this was when Teo Selak was the Manpower Minister.
Right.
I bumped into him at an event about 1 month down the road, and I shared this story with him. First thing he told me was that, do you record it? If you have it in recording, I'll get rid of her. He said, we'll take action against her. Okay. But I said, I didn't record it. Then he said,
you can't record a conversation without the other party knowing.
Yeah, I know. The leaders, he knew it, he could see it, and I sensed their frustration as well. And that's why the MOM has a policy about if a company misbehaves, they go on a blacklist. So whatever they do, if they're trying to apply for more employment passes, they will get stonewalled. There's a limit.
But you see, this is where there's a problem for business owners, local Singapore, small medium enterprise, SMEs. Yeah. I think when we talk about whether foreigners are stealing our jobs, it is not about, I don't think people are upset about the menial work, because we all know that Singaporeans don't want to do those kind of work. It's not about these guys. We, the local businesses, need these guys.
Yeah.
And because of quotas and stuff, right? These businesses get impacted in terms of costs because they have to hire Singaporeans as well. Yeah. Right? That is an issue for these people. Yeah. But the gripe, I feel, speaking as a citizen, it's not about these people. It's about the PMET positions. Jobs, and people are upset about that. Yeah. What's the point of going to universities and coming out with your degrees and you're studying so hard doesn't give you, of course, it doesn't give you a passport to success in life, in your careers.
Yeah.
It's not about that. The fact is that there is, you think there would be greater opportunity. Yeah. And then I also feel that there is this stupid thing that runs somehow unconsciously in a lot of Singaporeans' DNA, Pinkerton syndrome.
Yes. It's what I call the colonial mentality.
Yeah, it's
white is good.
even for our people unconsciously, in my mind, the way in my experience, I see the moment they have a white guy sitting there, they cannot speak properly. They all try to put on an accent.